Students, please be seated. Thank you for joining us for today's ceremony. I'm pleased to present to you the Dean of the University of Maryland School of Dentistry, Dr. Mark Reynolds.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Rambob. Today we welcome the Dental Hygiene class of 2018 and the Doctor of Dental Surgery class of 2020 as members of our professional community. They represent the next generation of dentists and dental hygienists committed to serving the public, citizens of our state and nation. For the students assembled here today, this is an important milestone in your professional lives. You are here formally welcomed into the dental and dental hygiene professions by our accomplished faculty, by our very distinguished alumni and colleagues in the community, and by our special guests from Xi'an Jiaotong Hospital of Stomatology in Xi'an, China. To highlight the special importance of this event, we are assembled in Davidge Hall, the oldest medical school building in continuous use in the United States. Each of you has excelled to earn acceptance into the dental hygiene and the Doctor of Dental Surgery program at the University of Maryland. You have become part of the rich tradition that defines the University of Maryland, the world's first dental college. The white coat that each of you holds has traditionally been associated with the healthcare professions, and today you are being formally presented with these white coats as our newest professional colleagues. The white coat symbolizes the most fundamental elements of professionalism: altruism, honor and integrity, respect, accountability, and excellence. The opportunity to provide health care is a privilege rather than a right. And as such, we have been entrusted by society to hold ourselves to the highest standards of ethical and moral character. From this point forward, you also will be held to these same tenets of professionalism, professional conduct. Faculty and members of our professional community are here to bear witness on this special occasion. Some of them will address you directly during the program, and we'll have the pleasure of introducing them each in turn. We are most grateful to our Alumni Association for participating in the celebration. I urge each student to take advantage throughout your professional career to interact with our alumni and our colleagues. These are the ones who will be there for you as you move forward in your professional lives. Among our guests in the audience, I would like to recognize Dr. Stanley Block. Dr. Block, class of 1958, is the recipient of the 2015 Distinguished Alumnus Award. Dr. Block. He is past president of the Alumni Association and is a current member of the Board of Visitors. His lovely wife was not able to join us today, as she usually does. Dr. Melvin Kushner, who serves as chair of the Board of Visitors. See Dr. Kushner. Dr. Leslie Grant, Chief Dental Officer, Maryland State Board of Dental Examiners, member of the Board of Visitors. Dr. Barry Cohen, member of the Board of Visitors and past president of the Alumni Association. Dr. Adam Eisner, president-elect of the Alumni Association. Also in attendance are Alumni Association board members, Dr. John Taylor, Dr. Jerry Gillian, and Dr. Nadine Kodsey. And finally, we are pleased to welcome Jordan Bearden, president of the Student Dental Association. For the students assembled here today, it is our expectation that each of you will serve as leaders in your professional community. I would ask that our faculty and alumni who currently serve or who have served in leadership positions in the state or national organizations, please stand so that we can recognize you today. I know we have a lot who have served. All right, they're timid, so we will. They've all participated at the state and national level. And we applaud their commitment and look forward to your participation and leadership. Finally, I would like to recognize the families viewing online today. We have more than 100 families connected via the live stream, and I thank you for joining us in the ceremony. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Barry Lyon, class of 1976, chair of the Maryland chapter of the American College of Dentists. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Lyon.
I'd like to welcome all the first-year dental and dental hygiene students. My name is Barry Lyon, and I thank Dean Reynolds for having me speak today. I am the chair of the Maryland chapter of the American College of Dentists. The college is a very highly selective professional honor society whose mission is to advance excellence, ethics, professionalism, and leadership in dentistry. I'm a very proud 1976 graduate of the dental school, and I received my certificate in pediatric dentistry from the school in 1979. I also spent 8 years as a member of the Maryland State Board of Dental Examiners. I practiced pediatric dentistry for 31 years, and now I'm currently a clinical director for the largest dental support organization in Maryland. Whenever I interview a dentist or dental hygienist for a position, one of the first assessments I make is their character and professionalism. To me, one may have all the necessary clinical skills, but those skills mean absolutely nothing unless there's integrity and professionalism to support them. It wasn't that long ago that most of you were at your college orientations. And I imagine you were sitting in the gymnasium or the field house, and the dean of the college stood up in front of you and said, "Look to your left, then look to your right. One of those faces that you see will not be there in 4 years." So I want to do something just a little different than that today. Pretend that you have a mirror in your pocket. You take that mirror out, and you hold it in front of you when you look in that mirror. And I can assure you that the face you see in that mirror will have to make countless ethical decisions as they practice dentistry and dental hygiene for the next 25 to 30 years. There are innumerable ethical situations that constantly arise whenever you have patients in your dental chairs. It could be anything from a patient asking you to predate an insurance claim before it expires, to a patient asking you to prescribe medication that they don't need, or it could be your temptation to overtreat a patient because your school loans are due in a few weeks. How you respond to these situations will determine whether you are or are not a credit to our profession. Patients place an enormous amount of trust in their healthcare providers. They enter every relationship with the dentist expecting to be treated with honesty and skill, and with the assumption that their dentist is totally committed to what's best for their health and well-being. This is a staggering responsibility that all of you will be facing. Unethical dentists discredit our profession. They make practicing dentistry harder for those who choose to make professional ethics the foundation of their dental practices and careers. They undermine the public's trust of the dental profession. They adversely affect patient health. And they cheapen the efforts of those who strive to uphold the honor of our profession. So how does one become an ethical dentist? Is it something teachable, or is it something inherent within one's makeup? My feeling is probably a little of both. My suggestion to all of you to start now, during the earliest days of your profession, to appreciate the responsibility placed upon you to care for your patients with skill, compassion, fairness, and honesty. The next time you sit in front of your computer, simply Google American Dental Association Code of Ethics. There you'll find standards for professional conduct, originally written 150 years ago, that will provide you with a roadmap today. It was disheartening when I was president of the Maryland State Board of Dental Examiners to sign license suspension or revocation orders due to a dentist's failure to practice with honesty, integrity, justice, veracity, and all the other ethical principles mentioned in the ADA code. You can go down one of two paths. The earlier you choose to practice honorably with your patient's health as their primary focus, the sooner you will find how natural it is to spend your careers as assets to the profession. Dentistry is an absolutely wonderful profession. It can be enormously satisfying, both personally and professionally. At the same time, it's not always easy. It can be very stressful, and it's very hard work. You will be tired at the end of the day. But the more unobstructed your path is to practicing with integrity and character, the more successful you're going to be, and the more you'll enjoy what you do. I wish you all the very best in your careers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Lyon. Next to bring greetings is Dr. William Martin III, class of 1990, and representing the Pierre Fauchard Academy. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Martin.
You know, this is actually my third time being at a white coat ceremony. And I look out at all these faces, and I always realize you know probably more than I did at this point, but I know more than you do at this point. It's an interesting thing to realize. Mark kind of asked me to focus on professionalism and lifelong learning. You're at a very interesting time because you're about to put on that white jacket. That's the beginning of being a professional. From this point forward, everyone looks to you as the expert. From this moment forward, that jacket gives you credibility. As a professional, you need to conduct yourself every day in a way that you will be proud of for a lifetime. You can give advice that people will actually listen to. You might think, I'm a dental student, I'm a first-year hygiene student, nobody will listen to me. Believe it or not, some of the lessons that you're going to start teaching patients, such as plaque control, where a cavity came from, can be life-changing for these people. And the words that you say from this point on to your patients, to people that you have meet at cocktail parties, will mean something. So it's important for you to realize you're wearing that white life, and it is kind of your symbol of professionalism. And that professionalism is who you will be. So if you want to be the best dentist that you possibly can be, the best dental hygienist you can be, think about that every day, what you can do for your community. And it's not just the advice, it's how you do things. It's like, you know, what you're doing in your church, what you're doing in your synagogue, what you're doing in your mosque, how you are there for your community. Do you give to community service? And it's even important to leadership, because if you don't take a role, whether it be Maryland State Dental Association, the ADA, any of these honor societies, there's nobody there to lead the profession. You guys are the future. I can get out now and live very nicely in my house in Annapolis and be very good, but you guys need to become the voice, direct where this profession goes, and see where things go. Now, the last thing to really talk about is education. You may think you're going to be here for 4 years and then, I'm done. Wrong. You will keep learning throughout the rest of your lifetime. Think about it this way. We're on the 9th generation to 10th generation of bonding agents. Now, some of you may not know what that means yet. I'm watching, Dr. Morgan and I went to dental school together, so she knows where I'm coming from. We're in the 10th generation. We didn't have the first generation of these things when I graduated. Your chemistry, your sciences, you know, how to use a laser. Nobody told me how to do that when I was in dental school. You're going to have to keep learning. And whether it be formalized programs like going on to become a periodontist or an orthodontist. You know, I learned Invisalign as a general dentist. Nobody taught me about that in school. You have to keep hungry and keep learning, because that's part of being a professional and being a great dentist. Learning what's going to be out there, because in the future, it's going to be totally different. And the great thing about it is you guys are behind the wheel of this whole thing. You can direct the profession. I don't know where it's going to be in 20 years. I'll probably be retired and, you know, hopefully having a nice life on the beach. But you guys have the next 40 years to really think about it. Keep the education going. Learn for a lifetime. Be a professional. And I will guarantee you, I've had a 20-year program where I'd be glad to tell you I have been places from the ADA's Council on Membership, the ADA's, you know, House of Delegates. I've been around the world as a dentist and as a leader. I had no idea what it was sitting in these seats. And I was considering I came from 3 generations of dentists. Keep your minds open. Keep learning. Say yes. Have a great career. Thank you.
You can hear the passion. Thank you, Dr. Martin. It is now my distinct pleasure to call upon Dr. Edwin Morris, class of 1974, President-elect of the Maryland State Dental Association, and member of our Alumni Association Board, to bring greetings.
Good afternoon. The last time I saw all of you was the first day of dental school. A very significant day for all of you. I know it was for me and it was for you. And now we meet again on another very significant day, White Coat Ceremony. And I know between a month ago when we first met and now that you've had a whole lot more to do. You've had anatomy, probably physiology, some biochemistry, and all the didactic things that you have to work on to be successful professionals. By the way, Bill Martin's talking about a 40-year career. Don't think about 40 years. Just take it one step at a time. You'll get depressed if you do that. But now okay, so you've had all these didactic things that you've been dealing with. What we're going to do today, one departure from that, is, as you can see, we're going to talk philosophy. We're going to talk about ethics. And you're going to put on this white coat, and we talk about what a symbol it is. It recognizes you as a member of a respected healthcare profession, and that's important, and you can be very proud of it. At the same time, along with putting that on and the prestige, perhaps, that it entitles you, it also is a responsibility. And that responsibility, of course, is to do what's right for your patients. You all know what the golden rule is. Do unto others that you would have them do unto you. Today, when you put on that white coat, you're going to take an oath. And I'll be brief. You're going to take that oath, think about it, put it into your brain, put it into your heart, and let it be your guiding light throughout your entire professional career. If you do that, you will have an honored place in your community. You'll have an honored place among your colleagues and among your profession. Because you will be, as these other speakers have said, you will be the face of our profession. And if you follow those golden rules, you will be successful. And I, from the Maryland State Dental Association, look forward to you as being colleagues and friends of dentistry and members of the profession. And congratulations to all of you. I look forward to seeing you throughout your career, throughout your dental education, and throughout your career. Congratulations again. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Morris. Next to bring greetings is Dr. Ali Benya, class of 1998, President of the Alumni Association for the School of Dentistry, representing over 7,000 graduates. Please welcome Dr. Benya.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Dean Reynolds, for having me speak. My name is Ali Benya. I'm a president of the Alumni Association. I'd like to congratulate all of you, starting with the dental hygiene program, because if I don't do that, my wife will make me sleep on the couch. She's also an alumnus of this wonderful institution, class of 98. I'm not going to bore you with statistics about, you've already know that you are a cream of the crop. The entering class of DDS has a average GPA of 3.57. You were selected at a sort of a 4.9% acceptance rate. And I have utmost faith that every one of you will graduate and succeed in your professional career, both in dental hygiene and DDS. It was about more than a quarter of a century ago that I sat in where you're sitting for my white coat ceremony. And believe me, I have no recollection of who spoke, what was said. All I wanted, all I had on my mind was I need to make it through. I need to graduate, and I need to become a dentist and maintain, that professional career. The last thing I had on my mind was Alumni Association or any of the, professional career endeavors that I've undertaken, and it all comes with experience and when you get out. All I want you to take away is when you graduate from this fine institution, there is a family of 7,000 strong, as Dr. Dean Reynolds mentioned, that whether you like it or not, you're going to belong to. It's all the alumni that's out there, every meeting, every CE course. You're going to run into fellow alumni. You're going to exchange stories, and you're going to look back, and I hope you remember that even though it was your hard work, your perseverance, the support of your family, your loved one, parents, spouse, uncle, aunt, whatever it was, but it was also the institution, its faculty, and the support of its alumni that sustained for generations to come to basically give all of us our professional careers. So, with that in mind, I'm going to be around, not probably as the president, but I'm going to see all of you at graduation. I'll guarantee you I'll have faith and take advantage of that. And I don't like to preach without doing. So last year I established a scholarship fund in memory of my late dad, who truly believed in providing the best support for me to go through the program. And I thought it would only be appropriate, along with many of my colleagues who've gone before me and established that, to give back in, whether it's voluntary or financial, but, this is our beloved institution, and you're going to become part of that family. Congratulations and best of luck.
Thank you, Dr. Bania. At this point, I would like to turn the program over to Professor Marion Mansky, Director of the Dental Hygiene Program, and to Dr. Patricia Meehan, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs.
Hello, everybody. I'm Marion Mansky. I'm the Director of the Dental Hygiene Program. Dr. Patty Meehan, you probably all know her already. Students, today you have been welcomed into the professions of dental hygiene and dentistry and honored with addresses from representative organizations. Now it is your turn to acknowledge your new responsibilities and your willingness to assume the obligations of your new profession. At this time, please rise, holding your coats. You may now put on your white coats. Please remain standing and join Dr. Meehan in reading your professional oath.
The oath is located on the inside of your brochure. Being admitted to the profession of dentistry, dental hygiene, I pledge myself to the service of my patients, my community, and my profession. The health and well-being of my patients will be my first consideration. I will uphold the highest standards of care for my patients and hold in confidence all they entrust to me. I will promote the welfare of my community by providing unbiased service to the community against justice. I recognize that the high regard of dentistry is born of society's trust in practitioners, and I will merit that trust. I will faithfully observe our profession's principles of ethics and integrity, maintain the highest standards of personal and professional behavior, and maintain my own well-being. In all these matters, I will encourage my colleagues to do the same. I am indebted to my teachers, and I pledge a commitment to continuous learning. I take this oath freely and upon my honor. You may now be seated.
Thank you, Professor Mansky, Professor Meehan. I would now like to ask our dental school faculty, who are directly responsible for your education, to stand in symbolic support of you, their newest colleagues. Thank you. Congratulations to each of you on your formal induction into your chosen profession. To our guests, thank you for joining us today to witness this important event. We invite each of you to come back to the School of Dentistry where we'll continue the celebration. And I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.
Please remain seated as our marshals lead our students from